Hello everyone, my name is Amanda and today I'm doing a makeup look for blue eyes. If you want your blue eyes to pop, this is the makeup look for you. I am wearing some contact lenses. I'm going to link them in the description box down below. Obviously, this look is tailored specifically to blue eyes. However, I will say this look is very universally flattering for a multitude of different skin tones, eye colors, you name it. So if you want to know how to achieve this look, keep watching. But before we get into it, do not forget, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the bell notification so you don't miss on any future uploads. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so I want to add a little bit of color to my face and a little bit of glow. So I'm going in with this Dior Forever Glow Star Filter. I'm using the shade number 2. This is a newer product for me. I've tried it out a couple times and I think it's really pretty. It kind of reminds me of Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter and the Say Glowy Super Gel had a baby. This is beautiful. I'm going to just use one pump of this. I could honestly probably go a shade lighter, but I don't mind that it's going to give me a little bit of color. I'm just applying that all over my face with my fingers, and then I'm going to go in with my Hourglass foundation brush just to blend that out. This glow is truly ethereal. It's very juicy looking. There's no visible glitter particles. It just looks like your skin is very hydrated and dewy. I want a little bit of extra coverage today, so I'm going in with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the shade 3.75. I like to use this foundation when I don't want my skin to feel heavy, but I also want that extra little bit of coverage. I'm just applying to my face one pump of this using my fingers, and then just like I did in the previous step, I'm blending that out with my Hourglass foundation brush. I will have that brush linked in the description box. It is the best brush for anything base related. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. All right, now to add some warmth to the face, I'm using this Give bronzer in the shade Heating Up. And I'm gonna go in with the cream side here. I'm gonna pick up that product on my Tennille Jai Base and Buff brush, and I'm just gonna coat my brush evenly. And then I'm going to start carving out my cheekbones, adding some warmth to the perimeter of my face, and really just taking my time to blend that out so it looks seamless. All right, so we're looking a little bronzed, we're looking a little chiseled. It's starting to come together in terms of the base, but the next step is blush. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Hourglass Cream Stick Blush. I'm using the shade Devoted, and I've used this a lot on my channel. I think this is the blush for fair skin tones. I think it would work good on cool tones, warm tones. It blends like an absolute dream. It's pigmented, but not too pigmented. I just really love it. I already feel like having the pink on the cheeks here makes my eyes pop even more. Pink and blue looks really nice together, especially more of a warmer neutral tone pink. I really think it makes blue eyes pop so much, so that's why I went with this color. And look how natural it appears on the skin. It really just blends right in, but you can see it gives good pigment, it lasts all day. Yeah, I really can't say enough good things about this blush. It's probably one of my favorite blushes. On the topic of blush, I am known to go a little heavy-handed on the blush. It's just one of my favorite steps, and it makes me feel so much more youthful and fresh, and it just makes me feel pretty. I don't know if any of you feel the same way about blush. It's one of those things that I just feel like I cannot go without. But now I'm going to go in with concealer. The reason I go in with concealer is because if I did blend my blush a little bit too high or there's a little too much product, you can go in with concealer and blend those edges of your blush in with your concealer, and it'll make it look a lot more natural. So I'm going in with my Say Slip Tint Concealer in the shade 1, and I'm doing just that. I'm applying that concealer underneath my eyes, in the center of my forehead, around my mouth a little bit, and over any blemishes I have. I've been testing this concealer out for a few days now, and I have to say I quite like it, especially for blemishes. It works really good to cover things easily. It's got a good amount of pigment, but it also sits really nicely under the eyes, and I find that it's quite crease resistant, especially if you set it nicely. So far so good, but I definitely want to continue playing with this a little bit. A little bit of this concealer goes a very long way. All right, so that is all I'm going to do for now for creams on the base. Before I move on to my next step, I'm going to spray some Charlotte Tilbury setting spray all over my entire face. I'm actually using this jumbo version. I just ran out of my regular sized setting spray, and this one is bigger than my head, so I'm very happy. I will probably never run out of this. Actually, you know what? I probably will run out of this eventually. It'll just take a lot longer than the regular size because I honestly use so much of this. Every single time I use it, I just like douse my whole face in it. But it works. It makes your makeup last longer, for sure. So now to move on to eyes, I'm going to apply a layer of that same concealer I used on my face on my eyelids, just because I want my base for my eyes to look very one tone. So I kind of want to cover all of the discoloration on my eyes, but I also find that concealer makes the colors that I apply on top pop even more. So the first step I want to do on my eyes is just define my crease and kind of define the general shape of eyeshadow that I want to do. So to do that, I'm going in with my Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette, and I'm going in with this kind of light, slightly warmer shade, and I'm defining my crease with that and a fluffy brush. Whatever shape you want to do here, if you extend the eyeshadow up and out, it's going to extend your eye and lengthen your eye, versus if you keep it round through here, it will shorten your eye. So whatever eye shape you have, you can use either of those methods. I'm kind of going between the two. I am not extending it too far out, but I'm keeping it kind of soft, a little bit rounded. I'm using a Rephr 03 pencil brush to do this. This is an amazing pencil brush. It's so detailed and it hugs the eye so well. I'm going to be switching between these two palettes quite a lot, but I'm going in now with my Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up this light, peachy, creamy kind of shade, and I'm going to apply it all over my lids. In case you couldn't tell, I'm kind of gravitating towards tones that pull a little bit more orange. The reason for that is because orange is actually opposite to blue on the color wheel, so if you apply color theory in this situation, it's going to complement the blue in my eyes a lot and really make them pop. So if you want your blue eyes to pop, definitely reach for shades like orangey tones, even reddish tones. Those will probably be the best. Even like warm bronzy shades look really beautiful. All right, so now switching back to my Ethereal Eyes palette, I'm kind of going to create my own custom shade because I don't really want to go gold, but I also don't want to go fully just champagne. I think a little bit of gold really helps to make blue eyes pop. So I'm going to mix these two together and just apply it on the very center of my lid. I just want a pop of luminosity, something that's going to draw the attention to the eyes. I don't want this to be overpowering. I just want it to be subtle yet attention catching. I don't know if that made sense, but you can see what I'm doing on the eyes and you can see how it just adds dimension and that little bit of je ne sais quoi. All right, so now is the fun part, eyeliner. I'm going in with a brown eyeliner because I feel like brown makes the eyes pop a little bit more than black. So I'm using the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal liner in the shade Cocoa. This liner is so creamy and beautiful. I just can't get enough of it. I'm going to be applying that on my upper lash line, creating a wing, just extending my eye outwards and elongating it a little bit. And then I'm going to be drawing that into my waterline and my tight line just to give a little bit of depth. This doesn't need to be perfect. It can be a little messy. We're going to blend it out, so don't worry about it too much. On my lower lash line, I'm only going about a third of the way in. I don't want to close my eyes off too much. Unfortunately, I just can't pull off filling in my entire lower waterline. I'm just doing one eye at a time here. I'm going to go ahead and take an angled brush and just start to blend that eyeliner out. So now we're going to smoke that out a little bit. I'm going to take this warm brown shade here. I'm using this Tennille Jai detailed blender brush and I'm just blending on top of that eyeliner. And this is going to fade that color a little bit, but that's okay. That's what we're going for. Just really focus on being detailed and intentional with where you apply this. You don't want to go too crazy. You really want to keep it pretty tight against your lash line. The whole point of this step is to just kind of diffuse those edges a little bit. You don't really want to tell where one color ends and where another begins, if that makes sense. And if your edges of your eyeshadow get a little harsh, just take a clean blending brush and blend them out very softly and gently. To tie everything together on the eyes and to really sharpen the way this whole look looks, I'm going in with this MAC Brush Brown Brushstroke 24-Hour Eyeliner, and I am just applying that right on top of where I applied the darkest brown kohl liner, and I'm really keeping this very small, very precise. I just want to make this look sharper. All right, so the eye look is pretty much complete. I'm going to move on to apply mascara now, which I'm so excited for because I honestly, like, I feel kind of freaky looking with these lenses in. I just like don't recognize myself fully. And so I think mascara will kind of reduce that a little bit, you know? I'm using my Lancome Lash Idol mascara, my favorite mascara. I love this one. And I'm not applying too much, just a good even coat so that when I apply my outer corner lashes, they will blend together with my natural lashes nicely. All right, so time for lashes. One of my favorite parts of a makeup look. Oh, it just pulls the look together so nicely. And for today's look, I'm using the Own Beauty Essentials Light Corner Lashes. I only have one pair left, but these are beautiful. They look so natural, yet they really elevate the look. Like they just pull it all together. They're subtle, but they lift the eyes. I don't know. I'm just gonna put them on and you can see for yourself how beautiful and comfortable these are to wear on the eyes. I forgot to mention, so comfortable. I'm just putting a little bit of my Fairy Lash Glue on these lashes and look how easy. Just popping them right on and boom, you're done. I like to go in afterwards and just kind of like push them up for an added lifted effect. So while that glue is drying, let's move on to powder, finishing touches, and the lips. I'm going in with this Givenchy Prism Leave powder. This is in the shade 2 Satin Blanc, and this is one of my favorite powders. I'm using it to set under my eyes, as well as anywhere on my face where I tend to get a little bit oily. This concealer really has not creased at all, which is very impressive considering it was not set with powder. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of powder bronzer. I'm going in with my favorite NARS Laguna bronzing powder in the shade Laguna 00. And I'm just taking this on my Repro 05 brush, picking up a little bit and working it into any areas that I applied bronzer. And now for powder blush, I'm going in with a little bit of this NARS blush in the shade Gina. I thought this would be a perfect tone just to kind of make the eyes pop even more. It's a bit of a warm peachy shade, so I just feel like it'll draw a lot of attention to this area of my face. And I'm just focusing that on the apples of my cheeks using a Repro 04 brush. For lips, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I'm going in with the Kosas lipstick in the shade Fantasy Life. And because I have a little bit of lip liner on already, I'm just going to pat this in the center of my lips. This is just a really pretty light peachy nude. And now to finish that off, I'm going in with my Say Glossy Bounce in the shade Kiss. This is just a really pretty, shiny, clear gloss. And that's it for this makeup for blue eyes. But I honestly think this makeup is truly very universally flattering. I think this looks good on a multitude of different skin tones and eye colors. You can adjust subtle things here and there, but overall, I'm really happy with the way this look turned out. Let me know what you thought about this makeup tutorial down in the comment section down below. And don't forget, if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.